Alrighty, getting things started. Just checking the stream health. Hey Dylan, Mad Dog, Nimbly the Deadly Nader, Mr. Red Sloth, haven't seen you in a while, and Ale. Alrighty, not gonna be any music tonight. I usually have some music. Mostly because it's kind of a late stream. Got a little bit distracted today. And I wanted to also do some work on oh, basically for this one all I have left is like lip sync, so it's better to not to have a whole lot of sound when you're doing that. We got Oozy Padoozy with a high, Kush with a re, Crazed Core, Jefferson Gutierritos with a high. Mr. Red Sloth loves Dan versus me too. Rory Ocelot with an hola and a konnichiwa. Hello, Michael Boomfist. Wow, love that 50-foot leprechaun art. Oh yeah, it's pretty cute. And I know where they got the reference from. That I believe is from the cover of that Futurama comic where Amy turned, well, I think she grew bigger than 50 feet, but yeah. Can you make a live stream and upload Hilda? No, I can't, Brandon. Oh, I'm sorry you're feeling miserable and stressed, Rory. Trainmaster's here with a hello. Sometimes I feel like I have the same attitude as Dan. Don't we all? Thank you, Oppenheimer Media. But yeah, I got most of the stuff ready for this one. Maybe a few things left that need animation, but mostly it's just like lip sync. Which is not too hard to do, especially if you're doing cheats and whatnot, or keeping it very simple. But compared to the other stuff like drawing or animating, it's boring. The heck did I do? That's what I did. Ah, da, da, da. I might as well play what I got so far. Happy Easter. And Naruto. Ooh, a sandwich. Rory, I had a sandwich for dinner today. Yen. Dan versus a thermonuclear blast. He survived the blast, Yen, because he was trying out a fallout shelter. And then he sings that war huh song naked at church, as the good Lord intended. I say. Foghorn Leghorn should do that song, don't you think? I say, war. I say, who? I say, what is it good for? Would you like a sandwich? I feel like that's a trap. Hey, elongated man, forever. I got a little rat in my life. Now I got to pay. That sounds ominous for some reason. Hi, Panda Star. Panda Star, has anyone ever told you that your name is reminiscent of like a fast food Chinese place? A sandwich, just a witch that controls sand. Like Sandra from the Aladdin series. I think that was her name. It took me forever to realize she's a sand witch, and the whole reason her character exists is because the creators of the show were like, okay, they're in the desert. What is there a lot of in the desert? Sand. Let's make a sand themed villain for Aladdin to fight. I guess she was also kind of like an Aladdin love interest. Like she thought she deserved to be with Aladdin more than Jasmine because they were both like street rats. Dan versus Dan, but 1 inch taller. I think they did that episode. Are you talking about the one where he goes up against his imposter? I think I think his imposter was like 1 inch taller than him. He was just better than Dan at everything, so I imagine he'd be like even a little bit taller. Mr. Animator, if you want to see a sandwich, Google Mystic Sand. It's a cute Yu-Gi-Oh card. All right, I'll play your little game, but not Yu-Gi-Oh. Even though it does look interesting from what I've seen. Let's see. Mystic Sand. And then I have to include Yu-Gi-Oh. Aw. She's another green-haired character that makes me think of the mayor from SimCity. Oh my god, the third image that pulls up, she looks like she has scary bug eyes. Sand, it's everywhere. Get used to it. I like how Dan describes sand. It's like a million little problems. That's probably one of the things I remember the most about going to the beach with family back in the day is I basically spend all day either in the sand or like right next to the waves. So when I went back home after a long day of being at the beach, um, I just remember being full of sand, like it was just everywhere. But also I felt like the rocking sensation of like the waves that had been pushing me around all day. So like I'd be sitting still in the car on the way back home, but just like feeling like some invisible force was just constantly pushing me. Pretty fun. The little rat in my life, it's a catchphrase I made for my OG Giantess character I made called the Mad Rat. Sounds fun. Do you have deviant arts of her? Oozy padoozy. Be a desert. That sounds like it could be a Bible quote. Yeah, but that's Panda Express. I'm a fan of Constellation and Panda Plus animation. All right. Trying to figure out what those emotes are. Are those peeps or just little baby chicks in a box? Sand reminds me of churros. A little bit. I mean, if you drop the churro in the sand, uh, would you even know that? Would you even know that what you were brushing off was cinnamon or sand? I love churros so much. They're so magical. They're like crunchy and soft and sweet and delicious. Even though I hate the sun, I love the beach, even if sand is annoying. It's so pretty. Yeah, I mean, I've never gone to the beach and thought to myself, ew, this place is gross. Even when it's full of people, it's like, this is just a wonderful place to be. I like the beach. I do feel bad, because one time when I was at the beach, I was walking by like some people playing a volleyball game, and the volleyball just like went right past me. I didn't do anything to stop it, and the guy was like, "Whoa, dude, bro, come on!" It's like I'm not playing your game. Not playing your game. I came here to relax, not to run around chasing after a ball. Be gone with you, you street urchins. But I did feel bad after the fact, because come on. Oh, sorry about that. Let me fix that. Let's go to custom and do this. There you go. Now it's tolerable. Da, da, da. When you really think about it, glasses is just burnt, molded sand. Yeah, I'm not sure about all the science on that. Like, um, like I've seen, like in cartoons, like a flamethrower hits a bunch of sand and then it like turns into a solid surface of glass. So that's just like what I believe is from what I've seen in cartoons. But I think I need to like watch one of those how's it made videos to understand the science behind it. Actually, I think I'll do that after this stream. and before I play some Vermintide, because I'm addicted to that game and I want to find all the nice art in it. Sorry, Rory. Wouldn't they be beach? Yeah. Elise attack City? I think she'd just be looking to attack Dan Rex Tom. Plus, any minute Godzilla could come out of the ocean. Yeah, you don't think about that a lot, do you? When you're standing in the ocean, you're just worried about sharks. You're not even thinking about the Godzillas. Rory, take that sandwich, put it in a panini press, and then presto, you have a panini. Didn't Pinkie Pie's family live on a rock farm? Yeah, they did. They rocked farms. I heard the sandwich was actually named after some guy. Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Again, this is my frickin' cartoon logic, because I've heard this fact so many times on cartoons that the inventor of the sandwich was the Earl of Sandwich. That some guy got tired of his hands getting messy while eating breads and cheeses, so he said, "Hey, let me stick my meats and cheeses between this bread and boom, I got my sandwich." So that's two things that I have to check after the stream. One, how is glass made from sand? And two, was the Earl of Sandwich real? I wonder what other cartoony facts I have to reevaluate. Swear I'm just typing nonsense. I don't know the show. Dan versus an 18,000 foot drop. That that would be a very funny bottle episode. That would be like maybe a clip show episode where he's falling to his demise. He's falling to his demise and he just keeps remembering all the revenges that he got. Na, 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 na. Hello, I'm right here, says Charles Buchanan. I'm sorry I missed you, Charles. Did I miss too much, though? Do you like Yu-Gi-Oh! As Dragon Knight? A friend of mine is introducing, and it's Yen, by the way, is introducing me to Yu-Gi-Oh! Because she showed me a very funny YouTube poop from the first, I guess it was the first episode of the first season from the Fox Kids series or version, and it's been enjoyable. And plus, Yan is like the DVD commentary for me, and she knows all the facts about like, oh, this card is actually played like this, and that card isn't actually real. Oh, these characters are supposed to be holding guns. Oh, and she mentioned, I guess there's season zero. I don't know if it's a series or a manga, but apparently Yugi was running around doing terrible things to people. The Shadow Realm is a very scary place. Oh wait, they had the Shadow Realm as an excuse for the stuff that Yu-Gi-Oh did. Like he was offing people left and right, but they just said, "Oh no, their mind just went all goofy, or they went to the shadow realm." Hey, Rain Cloud. It just I'm animating. I look to the right. I sort of scan, and I miss comments sometimes, and I apologize. And then usually at the end of whatever I'm working on, I say, "Okay, I got 5 minutes before I have to go. Let me know if I missed any comments." Then I could say some funny stuff or respond to your funny stuff. And White Tunes, nice giant clover fan art. Thank you. I believe that was from James H. Though I have to sadly report, very sad about this. I did sort of have a bit of a falling out with um, the artiste who designed actually a lot of my David and Danny characters, and even designed some new ones that I hadn't had previously, which does include uh, Connie Clovers over there, Jade the babysitter, even Juana Rosa. So, might not do anything with them for a while. And probably gonna redesign, retool. Um, it's fine because, as I've mentioned many times, I'm planning on doing some more stuff with some more D&D slash fantasy style characters that I've been sort of percolating in my brain for a little bit. And I wasn't planning on doing anything with David and Danny until uh, a little bit later after I've established some of my new characters. Um, oh, that's what happened to her lips. Oh my God, I forgot I had them on a separate layer. I was wondering, there's a detail missing with her. All right. Yeah. But yeah. So before I do anything else with David, Danny, any characters, I definitely want to do like redesigns and all that. Like one of the ideas I had, like one of the new characters I wanted to do stuff with is a witch named Miria. It's actually a D&D character one of my friends currently plays as, and we all love her very much. And I wanted to do something where she ends up like in David and Danny's dimension, and she just does like odd jobs around town. Like she's the reading witch, and she makes reading magical and fun. But like I said, that's stuff to consider for like much later down the road. I'll see how far I get with my fantasy themed characters. I definitely want to do like some storylines I've been thinking of with them. Sorry for that mini rant. Let's see if I missed anything. Is that a picture of a large leprechaun woman attacking a city? She looks awesome. Yeah, that's I think I mentioned it already. That's based on a Futurama cover, the one where Amy Wong becomes giant. That comic has such a great cover, but the inside of the comic, the art isn't as good. Ah, got another consent form. I'll keep things in the background. Welcome back, Yen. It's Miria. She's magical. Yeah, because reading is magic, is what I've been told all my life. I remember when I was a little kid at my library, they have all the posters, saying, "Hey, reading is good." My favorite poster I ever saw there was a Final Fantasy VII poster. I don't even remember how it was connected to the library or reading. For all I know it could have just been like an advertisement for Final Fantasy VII. But every time I went to the library, I just thought I want to be home playing Final Fantasy VII. It was such a great game. I don't know why um any other Final Fantasy game that came out of it just after it just never like was as great for me. I do love me some crossovers. Yeah, it's something, in the back of my mind. I've already been thinking up a bunch of lore and stuff like that. Mention ideas to friends. Oh, that must have been awesome to see that there. Yeah, it was pretty great. I mean, Final Fantasy VII was just so big when I was in the library times. I was told reading was magic, and it was. That was until I had to read the same bad story 3 years in a row for school. Now I can't read. I'm sorry, Yen. Crossover, you say? Hmm. Well, Rain Cloud, you are in luck as your main characters are two witches, a witch hunter, and I think that other guy's a like a troll, right? So it's all fantasy characters. They'd fit in perfectly with the fantasy setting I'm cooking up. Is Jackie in the sun? Asked Jefferson. Yeah, she's there enjoying it. Like a spa. Enjoy your Roblox, Rory. Sorry, I'm just looking at these comments I missed. I missed so many comments. Watch is the funniest Family Guy jokes. I mean, I do like Family Guy, but don't let Yen know. She doesn't think it's funny. Maybe because the Warner Brothers Discovery merger, Dan versus could air on Cartoon Network. I would love that. I would love if he got renewed on another channel or a streaming service. I just love Dan so much. Do you think when the channel gets 1 million subscribers, there could be a video of a crossover between most of the characters? Remind me if I forget if I ever do reach 1 million. I think I could like get all the OCs together. Like when did you ever see that thing where all of Dan Hartman's characters got together? Wasn't that weird? It was like Danny Phantom and Cosmo and Bunsen is a beast. I think they also had Tough Puppy, didn't they? Like all the characters got together for a little short. This needs to go on a little bit longer. But I actually found the Lost Family Guy pilot recently. Oh, are you talking about the one where Chris looks like um what the heck does he look like? He looks like a giant troll boy. Also, didn't they use the like Peter looks like kind of like Larry from that one cartoon? From that what a cartoon? What? Ah, cartoon, cartoon, cartoon. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Danny, Cosmo, and Wanda like ghosts. Kind of want to watch that one again. It was kind of incredible how he got everyone back together. Yeah, it's like fantasy, but with a modern civilized setting. But would it be all right if they like were in a pure fantasy setting? A world of pure imagination. Speaking of a world of pure imagination, did anyone else notice that Raven is out of retirement, it seems? I just saw some really great giant Raven art. I won't go into details because it's scandalous, but it was very amazing art. Like I could feel that heartbeat. I don't know why Beast Boy looks so scared. It looked like a nice place to be in. That Raven, she's got a lot of hot. She's got a lot of hot. At least eats people. No, she isn't a cannibal. Maybe if she was doing a sequel to um like if it was Elise versus New Mexico, then sure, she'd be going all around Albuquerque just eating everyone. I'm sorry, I have very strict rules when it comes to cannibalism. Jackie, Desmond, you're grounded and fat. What? You're grounded and fat. That's just being mean on top of mean. Dan versus existential dread. That hits close to home, man. I've had existential dread. I was very young when I had my first existential dread. I just remember sort of freezing up and uh, deeply considering my existence and what it all means. And I couldn't sort of get out of that spiral. It took a while. But I have since learned to roll with it. Yeah, Life of Larry. I think the one was found a while ago. Yeah, I think that's also the pilot where like every once in a while it cuts back to Seth MacFarlane and he's like in a tuxedo and he's like reading or he's like by a fireplace or something like live action Seth MacFarlane. Yeah, per fantasy still exists. It's been shown in episode 2. Nice. So it's kind of like that movie. What is it? Oh my God, I remember so little about that movie. I think it was about two brothers and magic. It's like fantasy stuff, but modern times. I think it was a Pixar movie. I just remember the mom in that movie being kind of hot. Danvers Inspector Gadget. And you should pitch all the Dan versus episodes. That would be an amazing crossover. It doesn't make any sense. Who's gonna be mad at Inspector Gadget? I mean, it is kind of perfect since Dan is angry all the time and Inspector Gadget goes up against mad agents. That is kind of perfect. Dan versus the 50-foot leprechaun woman. Well, that's just cute. I remember someone on Tumblr requested me on my old account to do art of a Final Fantasy character, but I didn't because I didn't know the Final Fantasy Laura. I kind of feel bad. That's fine. I mean, you don't have to know every character. I certainly don't. Yen certainly doesn't know every character. And let me end that a little bit earlier. I think that'll be good for this part. Yeah, that works. And I can maybe like animate the arms. Wait, did I already do that for the arms? No, I didn't. Oh my God. I apologize. Ow. Ow, my ears. Ow, my freaking ears. Onward. Thank you, Raincloud. I wish they did more with it. Nothing too magical in that film. Yeah. It just felt like a normal coming of age movie, I guess, but with some magic thrown in. Kush, you should have drawn the characters in the original polygon form. That would have been super easy to draw. I mean, Police Chief Quinby probably mad at Inspector Gadget for always throwing the explosive letters at him. Yeah, that's true. But then again, he should learn like I don't know, maybe you don't need to put in a stick of dynamite in every letter. You just need enough so that the paper burns, Quimby. That's all you need. It feels like Dr. Doofenshmirtz is the one putting the exploding juice in all the secret documents. I forget, wasn't that like uh I know that there's an episode of Phineas and Ferb where Doofenshmirtz is getting like the stuff that he uses for all his destruct buttons. I swear it was a juice of some kind. Pull up a reference of Elise. Elise Dan versus. All right. Yeah, I think I got the right color scheme for this. Their mouths aren't too complex. Although the person commissioning me does get a wee bit particular with how Elisa's mouth looks. In particular, when she has her mouth open, he wants like a single shape for like the lips. So I might actually later like pull up a few screenshots from like one of her speaking parts and sort of match the mouths that I have with the mouth she makes. And so her O mouth isn't a perfect O. It's more like a little butt. It shows up when I do that. Does it just disappear when I do that? Weird. Rory, no. Dan with a 9 millimeter versus Yujiro Hanma? That's past my pay grade, Yen. What if Dan is Dr. Claw and Mad Cat is Mr. Mumbles? Oh, that would be cute. You're Mimi. I think the only Mimi I know is the one from Digimon. Wasn't that one of the girls' names? Was Mimi the girl in the cowboy hat in Digimon? Yen knows. Yen, am I thinking of the right character? Is that Mimi? Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated. After Hours. Someone remixed and mashed up the Darkwing Duck theme song and Inspector Gadget. Kush, can you send that to me on Discord, please? Yen sends me those kinds of videos all the time. She likes when they when they take two songs and they mash them up perfectly together. I don't know if that's considered a fusion or a very well thought out YouTube poop. Dan versus a microwave. He's trapped inside and it's set to medium power for 5 minutes. I mean, that sounds like something that could happen with David and Danny. Yes, Mimi in Digimon was the one with the big pink hat. It was a cowboy hat. Oh, I just got the thing on Discord. Thank you, Kush. So, Animator, the cosmic microwave background, CMB, is a faint microwave radiation that fills the universe and is a snapshot of the universe's oldest light, dating back to when it was 380,000 years old. Ooh, fancy. Also, that means that the universe is slowly cooking us to death. That cursed universe. We're just all some kind of little bunny rabbits in the universe's sick and twisted game. Someone told me yesterday that we were all in a simulation, and I said that it was impossible because if we were in a simulation, why isn't there a green diamond floating above our heads all the time? And that was so stupid. I even thought that was really stupid. But it did not make me want to get back into SimCity. I can't believe that was ever a part of my life. I used to be so much into SimCity. But then after like you've tricked your Sims into swimming around in a pool and taking away the little ladder for them and there just isn't much to do. Also, Sim Talk gets really obnoxious after a while. I don't know why. Like I can listen to the cute little jabbering that goes on in a Banjo-Kazooie game forever or Animal Crossing, but Sim Chatter, I think someone gave it a name. I think it has an actual name. Simise? I heard someone say the universe is slowly crushing itself because it's gonna start a new universe again. So that's why time goes faster. Oh, that sounds kind of cool, actually. Let's hope this new universe has Berenstein bears instead of Berenstain bears. It's considered a fossil radiation and an echo of the Big Bang. Dang, a fossil radiation. I've been collecting fossilized opal in Monster Hunter. I don't know what it does, but when I figure it out. Oh yeah, and I haven't asked you, how do you feel about the fact that in Monster Hunter Wilds, instead of having a bunch of cats make a meal for you, you have to use your barbecue, the one that you use for making the well done steaks or well done meats. You use it to take ingredients and you make your own custom meals. But it's not like the big, delicious looking meals from the other games. It's just like you take meat and you put cheese over it or shrimps. I mean, the food still looks good. Will Jackie ever get an upgrade of her clothes in the future? I mean, I did upgrade her clothes last time, so I mean, the only thing I could think of is like some stupid futuristic Jetsons kind of thing. Like she'd have random rings on her clothes. But we'll see. Currently don't have too much planned with Jackie at the moment, unless somebody commissions me. When I opened up commissions, I was surprised that I got quite a few Jackie and Macy related stuff. They have their fans out there. Early on, I hadn't really considered too much like lore-wise or story-wise with Jackie. She's just sort of like a mascot. And Max Star came up with Macy. and yeah, just sort of built up her lore, and then people wanted more stuff, and I couldn't really, I hadn't committed to the bit of like all the history involved with Jackie and siblings and stuff like that. I came up with lore the same way that like for Olympics mascots they have like a little bit of lore to them to make them a little bit more appealing. Mr. Animator, I am very, very disappointed that Food in Wilds has no feline chefs. Any hunter worth their salt refuses to eat pre-hunt meals without cat. It ain't right. Mandela effect time. My most viewed video was actually a Mandela set considering the Disney intro. People remember her being on the blue castle, dotting the I, but that never happened. Huh. I think I remember that too. Uh, ab Abiogenesis is a theory that proposes life originated from non-living matter on Earth over 3.5 billion years ago through natural processes. Could experiment with other toga designs as she's getting closer and closer to godlyhood. Yeah, so far I think her biggest change whenever I um, do other stuff with her would be she has like the golden laurels in her hair. Do I have any other mouths for her? No, I just have angry mouth. Oh, shoot. Be funny if she just clenched her teeth like this for no reason. 5, I think that works. Effect was named after Nelson Mandela. Yeah, I've heard about where that name comes from. I did see that angry video game nerd episode. Teehee. Forget where else I've seen it. That couldn't have been the only place I've heard about the Mandela effect, could it? The Miller-Urey experiment was an experiment in chemical synthesis that simulated the conditions through thought at the time to be present in the atmosphere early prebiotic Earth. Besides, I've never seen a human Wyverian cook anything besides rare, well done burnt steaks in my life. In all 21 years of hunting. You know what? That's a really good point. That is a very good point. Because well done steak isn't, it's not how you're supposed to eat steak. Hunters are supposed to be terrible at cooking. I think you're slowly eroding my enjoyment of the game. No, I can't unthink that. When they make a delicious meal, it's like, wait a minute. I've never seen any evidence that they can do this. Yeah, and every single time I play the game with my brother, he tells me I wish we could have played shoot, what was the other game? Monster Hunter World. He says I wish we could have played Monster Hunter World together. And then I tell him, "Oh, I did get Monster Hunter World a while ago. I was playing it with friends, but then we got interested in other stuff. And I even got the DLC, the Frozen, I don't know what it was, Tundra something DLC expansion. So he kind of wanted me to, he wanted to play that game actually after whenever we finish or get bored of Wilds. He was talking to me about a mushroom biome that is apparently like just like amazing, like spellbinding. I think we visited already all the biomes in Wilds unless they have another one. Secret biome. Iceborne, thank you. Roy Oslet says, I love mushrooms. I hope you're talking about the ones from Mario. Actually, that is exactly the Mario mushroom, so what is it called? The Amagata? Amigata? I wonder if I should leave it like this or like this. It's straightening out. Na 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 na. What about Dementia versus Heed? Asks Optimus 3000. If somebody commissions me, I will add more to it. Currently, that's where I am with AGW, Giant Woman channel. I want to really focus on my original concept ideas for the channel that I'm rebranding. And most of the stuff I'd be putting on AGW would be stuff that people commission. such as this Dan versus thing I've been working on. Most of the time when I'm looking at like a bunch of references for Elisa's mouth, because I definitely want to get it right. Most of the time when she's smiling, it's like a very duplicitous smile. It's usually when she's in the middle of being sneaky, because she's a spy and a ninja. Yeah, I just keep looking at it, feel like it's like too toothy. But maybe it'll look better when it's like animating. Still, it's something that's easy to edit. World is incredibly rich, a very fun game, especially if you can play it slowly. I'll have to admit, yeah, and the one thing I really like about Rise and Wilds, I do enjoy like being able to travel fast. I don't like it in Wilds when it's like the monster is running away, but instead of like escaping to a far off region in the world, they just like schlep like a few a few feet over to like the next little part of the biome. Although one of the bird monsters, what is it? The UN Cutco, I think is the one. That one did fly like across the biome, so I was kind of impressed by that. Had to climb up to like its nest. So, Animator, there were no primates 100 million years ago, no mammals 250 million years ago, no dinosaurs 300 million years ago, no land animals 400 million years ago, and 600 million years ago, no fish. Oh no. Good thing God came and created it all. Wink. Can't wait for the Minecraft movie. I kind of can't wait to see if it's a great movie or if it's like a complete wreck. My only tip for you with World is to not rush it. Hours and hours of my time in the game is just me wandering around, learning the maps, watching monsters, and gathering items as I walk. It's a delight. I'll try, Yen. But I also like just sort of running around like an idiot and like isn't World can't you get like little pets in that game? I just remember like running up to cute animals and trying to catch them. God, people are gonna be so shocked when Finite Train video comes out. Um, I think I'm slowly acclimating whoever is the audience in Finite Train. Very slowly. Lowbone the Wolfkin, what did I miss? Not much, mostly just lip work. Yan Kutku. I was almost close. My God, I just thought of a funny idea for a possible commission. The Charlie Brown characters were known for doing MetLife commercials. Oh no. So, like, what if, like, say, Charlie Brown or Violet or any other ones injured by Giant Lucy? That would be funny. That would be a trip for some people. I wouldn't want to get sued though um, by MetLife, so maybe like a parody, like call it Mutt Life. Yeah, and is there some lore reason in Monster Hunter when it's like you get to the halfway point of the game, you fight a really big monster and like the credits roll, and then in the next part of the game they turbocharge all the monsters. So now like the monsters that you were able to beat easy, now they're tough. Now they're tougher than the midway boss that you just won against. I mean, I know like the real reason it's because okay, we can't make like 50 or 60 or 70 monsters. Let's just have them fight the monsters they already fought, but like with more moves or more health or more strength. Just a tradition. Okay. No, that's fine. I guess. I mean, now I get to make a stronger version of the what is it called? Quet Quetramice? The fire rooster. I like the fire rooster armor. It looks like a cowboy hat. I only got to wear it for a little while before I had to switch my armor to something stronger. First game, you did the village quests, and once done with those, you're supposed to go online and play guild quests. All right. There was a game I remember on the 3DS that was so much fun, and some of the missions you were like fighting a sand whale monster, and like the first half of it you're just on a ship and you're like shooting cannon fire at it and like there's crazy stuff happening on the ship, and then after you beat it up, you get off the ship and you fight it. Give her some nice full lips. So they look to be a celebration. Yes, the 3D games were Gen 4. They last to the old world style, an end of an era. So Gen Ultimate contains every monster prior and new ones, capping with a wholly unique hunt that is the pinnacle of what old world hunting was about. Gonna play it soon with lil bro. Aw. Sandwhale, pretty sure Darren Mulhran is its name. I just remember the only sand whale I've seen in media was, I think, on Aladdin, because sand. Everything was sand. There was a weird Captain Ahab character on the cartoon series. Hey, Ritigel Moleth? I'm not changing beta. Just kidding. Emergency beta. Hey, Magic Quill's here. Howdy. Again, sorry if I missed a comment. Don't know why I made that mouth go so low like that. Just sort of bouncing everywhere. Nice. Remember this weird character on Phineas and Ferb that would always say okay, like a lot? Like snap their fingers and say okay. And I think if someone else said okay, they'd say okay too. Like this weird captain lifeguard character. It's kind of funny. I miss Kid Icarus Uprising. It was such a good 3DS game. It had a lot of funny moments and a few twists and turns. I just remember that game getting complaints about the controls, and I think they made a special peripheral just so you could play that game like a little bit more easily. But it was also a decent game. Introduced some new characters to the series. And a friend shared an animation I hadn't seen before with some vegetables. They made a few animated shorts for the Kid Icarus game. It was pretty fun. Macroevolution refers to evolution of groups larger than an individual. Evolution encompasses the grandest trends and transformations in evolution, such as the origin of mammals. To be fair, comparing World and Wilds together to Gen Ultimate is unfair. Gen Ultimate has 93 large monsters, which is more than 2 times World plus Wilds rosters combined. Dang. I know I should be wrapping up. I think I was in the Loch Ness Monster episode. Yeah, that's the one. I love that episode. That's the one. Oh, that had so many good jokes. It had the zinc stuff. It had Doofenshmirtz rant about genies. Genies, man. That's who you should be after, not me. Genies. That's the problem. I mean, you wish to jump higher and they'd make you into a frog. Who benefits from that? The genie? It's so perfect that he's not just like doing his usual rant, but he's like eating chicken wings and just like lying down on the floor. What is he even doing with his life? All right, so my to-do list after this session. Have to check on the lore about the sandwich and the Earl of Sandwich. I have to see if I can take a flamethrower and just make sand by shooting fire at sand. And I have to rewatch that entire Loch Ness Monster episode of Phineas and Ferb because I'm a crazy person. Okay, I swear this is the last thing I'm gonna do tonight, not forever. Please look so beautiful with a shiny head. Just wanted to see if this makes her look a little less static. Show your moves. I don't know why I said that. Should also be doing like a bob and maybe like a sexy sway, like do. Actually, that's all kind of dorky. Maybe like a more subtle sway, so she doesn't look like she's a cowboy that just moseyed into the bar. All right. Thanks everyone for dropping in. Thank you for keeping things lively. Either going to work on this more tomorrow, or I will do something on Finite Train, which I am slowly rebranding, maybe working a little bit with Construct and some of the assets that I have, play around with that. Let me see if I missed anything. Big laundry. Zinc foil. Ah, poor foot. Whose foot? His foot? VC with me so I can better explain Monster Hunter. Um, you have to give me at least 15 minutes after this, Yen, because I need to look up that sand stuff and that Phineas and Ferb episode. I feel like Pinkie Pie and her family would be great at living in the desert because there's nothing but sand rocks, and that's it. I don't know. The heat. I always hear people complain about the heat. Like the thing, I mean, it's the most boring conversation topic you could have, but it's like, uh, oh, the cold is better than the heat. Because if it's cold, you could just put on more stuff and then you'll be less cold. But with the heat, there's only so much you can take off before you're just naked and covered in sunburns. And I guess it's true. I mean, I'd rather be in a very cold situation than a very hot situation, but still. There's gotta be something better we can talk about. She's bald, oh no. No, Rory, bald is beautiful. Superior Cyber Godzilla, hi, just in time as I'm wrapping up. Thank you, Crazed Core. Goodbye, Rain Cloud. What heat? The heat from Kush's hypothetical about Pinkie Pie's family living in the desert. Clover is angry? Help? Clover who? Clover from Totally Spies? Oh, Clover. Connie. Yeah, she's mad. She's looking for her pot of gold. I can't do an Irish accent. Yen can do a good Irish accent. Speciation is the evolutionary process by which new species form. It occurs when a group of organisms within a species becomes reproductively isolated from the rest of the species. Did they become did they become reproductively isolated because they just got really into Monster Hunter? I definitely have gotten reproductively isolated like that, but a new form of species didn't come out of that. So I think your science needs to be tested, Trey. All right. I guess I'll wrap it up since we're at the point where Trey's just giving me all the trivia. We'll have to save that trivia for later, okay, Trey? Ooh, Bookaboo disease. Yen, are you pretending to be Jabba the Hutt? I don't know why I read that in the Jabba voice. All right, thanks again, everyone. Sorry for my rambles, and talk to y'all later. Peace.